Hey everyone, it's Millie.
It's Gabby.
And we're back for another week of Change by Degrees. So we did our little art heist thing. And we did.
I was like, what are you talking about? Feels like so long ago.
And it wasn't. But we usually do this kind of episode once a season because we're not very good at it, and we don't plan at all because we don't want to, because we suck.
Well, it's just one of those episodes where
it's like a little throwback to how we did like all of like season 3 and 4 and 5.
I like how you named like all of them.
Which is like no planning, and we just press record and this is what happens. But that's okay. So before we get into kind of talking about our mental health, which I don't know how that is going.
Wait, I thought we were talking about...
Gabby's sickly, so we'll also talk
No,
about
I'm
that.
not sickly.
So
well,
I
maybe
want to ask you how you're doing.
Okay,
I'm going to ask how you're doing in a little bit.
Sickly.
But I want to tell you how my morning went.
Oh, yes. She told me I have a story to tell about Amazon. They sent me the wrong thing, and that's all she said.
And it's very bothersome.
Okay.
Usually I just chat with the Amazon associate person, and they're like, oh, we're so sorry for this inconvenience. We will send you one free of charge the same day. And it's, really easy, and it's good. But Amazon be screwing me over because I ordered a little, and you'd really like this, Moleskine Journal.
Love it.
Okay. To write down notes. I'm not starting school. I kind of see all the school buses and all the kids, and I want to kind of kill myself.
Good.
I sympathize with you all. I'm glad to not be a part of that anymore, but
You'll
enjoy
it.
Bus. I did. Don't drag me. I was homeschooled, but for all of my elementary school life, I got on a bus.
You were a bus rat.
And we also... Were you not?
No, dude. I went to private school, dude. Are you kidding me? I am.
You kidding me? Oh my gosh,
private school. I wear khakis every day in a polo.
Dweeb.
Yeah, literally.
This is like worse than me. But actually, you know what?
I don't think that's...
We were really joking. I'm getting off topic already. This is good. But at Chick-fil-A, we were talking about how we were both, what's it called? Safety patrols?
Yes. In elementary school.
Both of us as safety patrols?
I was in the carpool line.
I could never do that now.
Someone would probably die on my watch.
But it really cracks me up, like my goody two shoes, like in 4th grade, like, oh my God, you have to wait in this line for your parent or whatever. That was me.
I just want to do it because my 2 friends were doing it.
I did it because I was a good citizen, and I wanted to do it for the
Rachel
betterment of
and
other people.
Brianna were doing it, so I was like, I want to do it. So I did. And it kind of sucked because I had to be there earlier than usual.
Oh, I didn't care. I felt like I was like doing everyone a favor.
No,
Now I could never do that, but we were both safety patrols.
Yep.
I'm not sure even how that happened. But anyway, so Amazon sent me the wrong thing. That's what it is. I got a Moleskine Journal for the fall so I can write down ideas and stuff like that and plan. And do you know what I received? I don't know if I've told you this, but anyone who knows me knows that I despise with like all of my being. It's okay if you wear this, but you will never find me dead with these things on. Crocs.
Oh, yes, you've told me that.
Okay,
they sent you Crocs?
No, they didn't send me Crocs. They sent me Croc pins. Like a packet of Croc.
Oh, to put on the shoes?
To put on the shoes, which I hate. Like, I hate.
How did they get that?
Don't.
From a Moleskine?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It's already delayed. It was supposed to arrive yesterday. It arrived this morning. I go running down. I'm like, my journal. I'm gonna get it before I go to work. And then I open it up and I'm like, what in God's green earth? It's these like, it's like a lollipop, a donut of like these Croc pins.
That's so weird.
And I hate Crocs. I hate Croc pins even more. So I'm like, okay. And I don't even have my journal. So I contact them. I don't remember what the name of the first guy is. Doesn't matter because he was not helpful.
Good.
The second guy was much more helpful.
Okay.
And so he begins to tell me, oh yes, you have to return this because the seller needs it back before you get your journal. And I'm like, that's not my fault. I have to take time out of my day to get this happening. And I'm just like, I'm already pissed off. And I'm like, can I speak to a supervisor? And he's, you know what he tells me? He's like, he wouldn't be able to help you because we all have the same resources. In my head,
so can I talk to a supervisor, please?
And I was really like, that's okay. I just want to understand what's kind of going on a little bit more from your supervisor. And he kicks me off.
He doesn't.
Like, so I can't even review him and be like, hey, this guy didn't.
What was his name? Oh, so you don't know his name.
I don't remember even what his name was.
So you really pulled the, can I speak to a manager, please?
I did.
But that was valid because that is really, okay. I'd be like, why do I have to take time out of my day to return this thing? No, send me the journal.
I'm like, send me the journal. So sorry to whoever these Croc pins are. I have my name and my address on it, so I'm still like.
I've been like, well, then you have to send those Croc stupid pin things to. You have to send another thing to them because I'm throwing this away. Like
literally, unless you can DM me if you want your Croc pins, but
hollering.
I will
That's
not use them.
That's so stupid. Amazon, what is with
so
you, girl?
He kicked me off. I have no idea. They're kind of like the app is kind of being a little shifty right now too. But
he woke up on the wrong side of the bed
apparently, and I think this guy's name was Akit. It was
report him.
ACHIT. No, the second guy that was helpful. Don't report him.
Don't report him. Don't report him.
And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I see the conversation you had with this other guy. I'll be able to help you out. I still have to return it, but they'll do UPS pickup.
Oh, okay.
So that I'm like, okay, you know what? The other guy, I couldn't even understand what he was saying. So that was an option. That's okay. And he's like, and I'll send you this journal free of charge. Same day, you'll receive it by the end of today. And I'm like, thank you, kid.
Like, how hard was it for the first?
I mean, like, I don't understand, but literally, like, me waking up at like 7, and I'm like, I'm getting excited for my journal. It was supposed to arrive by 8. I didn't get it. I contacted, and it was like 9:30, and I was still on like my little chat with Amazon. Wild. It consumed me.
That's so weird.
And I was already so bothered about the crock pins.
I don't understand how they got.
I'm
like,
still kind of really bothered about that. Really, I don't have my journal, and I have crock pins on my desk.
Oh well, you could use them for something. You could use them for could melt them down and make something.
Burn them in a little candle, nighttime candle. Breathe in the fumes.
You might
end up dead.
You'll probably blow up the whole house.
That was my morning. How
do you feel about that?
I feel really poorly about that.
I feel poorly about it. Yeah,
it's just like angry.
That's very odd for Amazon. Well, that's like I just told you.
They
like
never mess up.
The book
not that bad.
I ordered from Thrift Books like 2 weeks ago, and they sent me the completely wrong book, and they're like, "Oh, just keep it." And I was like, "That would be really, really great," but I already have this book, and I've already read this book like 3 times, and I don't want it. And they're like, "Well, we don't want it." And I was like, "Okay."
LOL.
So I guess I'll just go donate it or give it to I don't know. And
if you want Gabby's book too, you can DM us.
Yeah, you can have that.
Crock pins or books, we got you.
Yeah. Yep. And then they finally sent me the correct book. I got it yesterday in the mail, and it had like this weird note in it.
LOL.
And I was like, okay, that looked like someone had like written, like they were passing notes like in class in the library. I have no idea. And then they just like folded it and put it in the book. And so when I got the book, I opened it and it fell out, and I like, which it's not unusual to find things in used books, which happens like all the time, or like inscriptions on the inside, which is kind of cool because you're like, oh, whoever had this book before me, like
piece of history.
Yeah. And so I've gotten notes before, but this one was like really, really weird. It was like obviously in the middle of a conversation with somebody else, and I only had one piece of it. I was like a little mystery, and I kind of want to be like, well, what happened after this? What's the tea? But it was like a weird note that said like, please stop asking. If you keep asking, I'm gonna get in trouble, and my parents are gonna hit me. And I was like, what's happening in this note now?
You just like found like
I
a crime
don't
scene
know.
in a note.
It was really weird, and I was like, I'm gonna just
burn
Actually,
this.
it's on my desk because I don't know what to do with it.
That has some bad juju on it.
It might. Maybe I should get rid of it. And it was in the book I bought was Carrie by Stephen King, which already it's a little weird. But yeah,
it's a little weird. She said.
So I don't really know what to do with this note, but I was just like, ooh, I need the other part of this conversation.
So basically, things getting shipped to us, so it's kind of funky. So hopefully that fixes itself.
It's like the most simple things. It can't even
do that.
Can't do nothing right.
So,
good story.
LOL. That was a good story.
Actually, I didn't know what you were gonna say. I thought you were just gonna.
Oh no! I'm still pissed off about that. But that's okay. And actually, so before we jump into mental health, I'm going to talk about physical health because I just want a portion of this. Okay. Because you know how we spent a portion of the episode you dragging me about how I have asthma.
You do have asthma. Yep.
So why don't you tell them what your ailment is?
Oh well, no. Here's the thing. My ailment is not so much an ailment.
It is. It's a genetic problem.
Yeah, it is a genetic problem. But yours is that's a pre-existing condition where you're like you can't breathe. Mine is just like sometimes I have a weirr feeling in my limbs.
Dude, but you don't know what problems you could be having. It's a lot of problems you could be having.
Yeah, whatever. You know, last Sunday the Sunday you weren't here, which was 2 Sundays ago. Last Sunday. So that whole morning, has to do kind of with what we're talking about. Oh, okay. But I almost went to the hospital because I was like, I think I might have a blood clot. But I didn't.
Okay,
so I just went to bed.
If I was there, I would have.
Well, no, it was that night. But it was because like that morning.
If you texted me that you were at the hospital, I would have like driven 5 hours and been like, hello, what's wrong with you?
Because I literally. Okay, so I got to church around like 6, and then we were there till like 1. And that whole morning, pretty much, I stood for the entire time because it was just me and Tim.
Yeah.
And so I pretty much not stood in one spot, but like I was over by the camera, and then I was doing computer and video switcher and all this. Okay. So, and then so that was by 1 p.m. I was like, okay, I'm done. So then I went to my parents' house and I sat and I ate lunch, and then we sat and watched TV. And then I had to go to dinner with some people, and that dinner lasted like 3 hours. So I sat for like 3 hours. Yeah. So by the time I got home,
you texted me at night too, and you never replied to me actually.
For what?
I forget. You were telling me that you went about something that happened in the conversation, and I asked you a question and you never replied.
Oh, I didn't. Oh,
No.
that was.
Oh, so you might have been dead. Have to be with Gabby. That's not atypical, but now
Sometimes I open it and I read it and then I forget. But so by the time I got home, it was so wild. I love how we're talking about this. Has nothing to do with anything. Now we're just talking. I'm actually like trying to tell you something. So then that night I got home at like 9:30 and I'd been gone like all day. And so my leg was killing me to the point where I was like,
you hadn't stood for that long for a while.
And so it was like the same feeling that I've had in my legs for like since middle school, but it was the worst it had been for like years. So I was like, dude. And so I was feeling like my calf, because it was in my hip and it went down to my calf. And I was like, dude, I feel like I'm gonna have a blood clot. Like it was hurting really, really bad. And so, which I'm prone to, which is what this whole thing is, whatever.
Sick.
Because I'm not sick. I have bad circulation, which I've been saying for years, but no one believed me. So it's fine. But now y'all all see it. Now everybody, egg on your face, right? So I was like, wow, I'm really gonna have a blood clot. And then I stretched and I felt a little better and then I went to bed.
Okay. So you're fine. So you could have died.
But I
in your
really
sleep,
was, a little bit.
Good.
So,
okay.
But I was just like, it's not worth it. And then I went to bed. Because I was really, really tired and I didn't want to go to the hospital. But I thought about it and I was like, maybe I should.
Well, when you saw your chiropractor later that week, was he like,
well, I told him, and he said, he said he was like, I said, I was standing the whole time. It's not like I was bent in a position where like my blood couldn't flow. He's like, yeah, but even if you're just standing stagnant, he's like, you need to like be bouncing or on your toes every once in a while just to get your blood like, he was like, your blood just needs help flowing. It's just,
what's it called? What's it called? I can't remember.
Well, I have,
your
I mean, I have like
sickness.
My sickness. I mean, he says I have like bad joint dysfunction.
Okay. No,
and then the blood thing,
the genetic problem you have.
There's two things. It's the prothrombin.
Okay.
And then the homocysteine gene thing.
Which is what your dad has.
Well, he has both of those.
Oh,
so I'm like over here having this problem right now, and it's really great. I mean, it doesn't cause any problems other than like bad circulation.
With your legs and stuff like that, and then.
Well, you know all that.
Sickly.
So
It's okay. Dude, you joined. So I have asthma.
She has what would they call it? But they called it not self-induced, but
allergy-induced
asthma. Allergy-induced.
To my cat.
Yes.
Rip.
Asthma.
Everyone.
Yes.
I was very sad.
Her
It's a good for
cat
mental
passed
health.
away.
My cat passed away, and I was like not. I thought I was ready.
Well, you think, and then
I really thought. It's horrible. Pretty bad. But
you get attached to animals, and then they go, and then you're like, oh.
Yeah, because actually, I mean, sis was old. She was still fighting. I came back from work one night, and she wasn't looking too good. She was like hunched back. And then my mom was like, okay, we got to call the doctors. So in the morning, I called the doctors. And at like 6:30 in the morning, and the doctor wasn't there. So I'm like, very helpful. So we went to Manassas, and they were like, sis is real old. She might have cancer, like kidney failure, which I guess is typical in cats. And I was like, I ain't going to put her through all that. But that was real sad.
Yeah.
I think I've been better, though, about like just letting myself, rather than like keeping it all in, like just letting myself feel the emotions, so that not like 5 days later I'm still like, why am I like so sad? No, I felt all my emotions.
Yeah.
I like took a break from like teaching that day, and I feel like I wouldn't have done that previously, but I'm like it's okay.
I think that's really good. That's healthy.
Like let yourself be sad.
Yeah.
And then your body's process that, because like I feel if you don't process it, what would you say?
Well, it gets all blocked up.
It shows up in other ways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like alcoholism. Not you, but just in general.
I was gonna say,
she's not an alcoholic. Not yet, anyway. But yeah, that's good. I mean, like I feel like that's good stride for you, because that you wouldn't have done that.
I really wouldn't have.
I didn't know you canceled your lessons. You just texted me.
No,
I
did. I texted her and I was like sobbing. I'm like, I don't think I can record.
I thought you
just we were gonna record that episode that day.
Yeah.
And no, I had canceled. Well, I did have other work to do because I was gonna leave on vacation. Yeah. So I was like, let me try to lessen the load for the day and focus on what needs to get done. You know, lose whatever money from canceling lessons, and that's okay. To just let myself like process things.
That would have been a really great episode, though, if we recorded. It would have been like a therapy session.
It really would have, because that like, day was like not good for me.
Let's process this.
Because I really was like I was ready for her to go. Like I think she wanted to go and stuff like that. But it's just like, it's sad.
Well,
and I think, and my mom and I were talking about this too, because like with whatever it is, animals, people, like seeing that happen, it's like, oh my God, this is like not supposed to be what we experience in our life. And I'm like, oh my God.
Like it's not natural.
It's not natural.
Yeah.
But
now she's over the rainbow bridge. She's in a better place.
she is.
She's
But I
with her
mean,
other cat
that's a point for
friends.
mental health for me because, like I said, I would typically just bottle it up and not tell anybody and stuff like that.
Stuff it down with some brown. It's another alcohol reference. She's not an alcoholic. I don't know. I don't know.
People are like DMing me like, Millicent, are you okay? Are you okay? Because Gabby seems to think that there's some stuff going on.
So
After a hard day, you have a drink. Okay, that's okay. I think that's healthy.
it is. I had tea last night.
I actually, it's so funny. Maybe let's talk about what we're using to cope. You're doing tea.
No. Okay, so I actually
you hate tea. So
I
actually,
do. But here's the thing.
What has been going on in your life that like has made you go to tea?
I don't really know, but
LOL.
I don't like tea. I like. Okay, here's the thing.
Like London Fog, whatever.
love sweet tea. Sweet iced tea, that's like my jam. If I order sweet tea at a restaurant, I will go through like 6 glasses of that. Like
do?
I love sweet tea. Chick-fil-A sweet tea is elite.
Chick-fil-A
McDonald's
lemonade?
sweet tea is elite. Okay, lemonade. The lemonade's very good too.
Oh my gosh.
She got the where'd you get the lemonade from that you hated? You didn't like it. Chipotle's lemonade. She didn't like it.
Nasty.
Maybe it was just the batch that maybe it was a bad batch.
No.
Okay, well, whatever.
It's Chick-fil-A and lemonade or nothing else. Actually, you know what I discovered?
What?
I've been hitting up Wawa more often. After the gym.
Like you're like I eat every meal there. More often.
More often after the gym. And their frozen lemonade tastes like Chick-fil-A lemonade, but like in slushy form. And when I say like my calories can go down the drain drinking just lemonade, I admit it.
I don't like slushies.
Like imagine, I know, me neither.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's like, you know how refreshing Chick-fil-A lemonade is, but sometimes it's a little sweet and then you get thirstier. But it being a little bit more icy, because it's not like an icy. It's like, I don't know.
Is it like a frozen margarita type consistency?
Kind of, yeah. Like kind of like that. And if you were to add some little extra something, I would be gone. Yeah. If you have a real rough day, you do that. But no, tea. So,
Yeah, so
you had iced tea. I thought you meant like a hot tea.
No. So let me tell you. Well, that's what I enjoy.
Unwell.
No. So let me explain. So that's what I enjoy. I like iced tea, and if I go to a restaurant, I'm like, can I have sweet tea? And they're like, we only have unsweet. I'm like, that's fine, but bring me a thing of sweet and low, like a whole. Someone put 6 in there, because I don't really like unsweet tea. But anyway, okay. So here we go. So that's what I drink. I don't like hot tea. Hot tea actually usually makes my stomach feel like so bad. It makes it for me. Hot tea doesn't have enough flavor. So for me, it's like I'm drinking like hot bath water. I don't know. It's not.
It has to be like heavily spiced.
Yeah, it has to have something. I can't just be drinking like I don't like green tea, whether it's iced or hot. I hate it. But it just for me, it's like hot bath water, and you're drinking like a hot liquid. Exactly. So that's what it for me. And so like I drink hot tea, and I'm like, this is really nasty. But
iced tea helps you mellow out. Enjoy the night.
It doesn't really help me do anything. Well, no, here's the thing. So that no. So I didn't drink iced tea. I drank hot tea last night.
Why?
I did. So listen.
I love how
No. So I'm prefacing. No, I'm explaining. This is the history. This is my history with tea. Now let me explain the situation. So that's my history with tea. I like iced tea. I don't like hot tea. But I was at the store on some day, Friday, and I forgot what day it went. It was Friday, and they have those Tazo tea.
Yes.
Okay.
I know.
Okay, well, I'm trying to explain to you. The containers that it looks like. Okay, so you know the container that chicken broth comes in?
Oh,
like the large
so you got like
ones?
A chai tea?
Yes.
So I
like chai tea.
Yes, I know.
And I was like, I didn't know they sold.
Yeah.
Because
in like a little like chicken stock thing.
Yes. And so I was like,
thing.
yes, the cardboard like container thing. And so I was like, ooh. And so I was like, okay, because here's the thing. I was gonna buy alcohol because I was out. But then I was like,
such good influencers,
because I anyway. So but I was like, let me try to be like a little bit more healthy, and instead of because at night I always want to drink something. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. I want a drink of something. By like 8 p.m. 9 p.m. I'm like wanting. I want something like you know how you want like chips at night or something.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same with me except for a drink. So I want something to drink, and so usually that's alcohol. But because I don't drink coffee at night. So I just have like a little something while I'm like watching TV and winding down. Okay.
So you're making yourself seem more like an alcoholic than you made me, but it's okay.
It's a nightcap.
So she had chai.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
This conversation.
No, it's good. I support you. It's okay.
So instead,
maybe we'll join a group.
This is how you know. I'm not an alcoholic. Instead of buying alcohol, I bought tea.
That's how you know.
So I controlled myself.
It's like
not that I have an issue.
It's like, this is how you know I don't smoke. I got nicotine gun.
Okay.
I said gun.
Gun.
Nicotine gun. Something I don't smoke.
I don't smoke because I have a gun. Okay, so I bought the tea. So I don't have any alcohol in my fridge right now.
Good job, dude.
And so
I'm
I bought
proud
the
of
tea. So
you.
I tried it last night and I was like, let me try drinking this.
Was it as good as Starbucks?
It was pretty good. It was, well, I don't know like the ratio.
I follow, I don't follow, let me not lie. But I see on TikTok on my For You page, this guy who is Indian and he does like masala chai, something like that. So he like boils the actual herbs and adds it with milk. And I'm just like, I've never had chai tea, but
Well, I like chai tea because it has more of a flavor. It has tons of flavor. That's what I need if I'm going to drink hot tea. It has to have tons of flavor. And this is like that spice. And this is really good because it has that spice flavor or whatever. And so you're supposed to like cut it with, I think it's like half and half. So like you have half the Thai, the tea, and then you have whatever milk you want to add. And so I added almond milk because I don't drink regular milk. I only drink almond milk usually. And so, because I'm just not a milk person. So I did that and it's so good. Yeah. Now I really want to buy like a teapot. I don't need to,
I have
but
teapot.
like,
You know, on Amazon, they have like $30 because I mean, even though it's cute to like heat up water in your stove and whatever, but I have one that you just plug in and it boils it in like under a minute.
Oh, really? Because it's like, I just put it in like my measuring cup and put it in the microwave and I was like, this isn't giving me like the cozy feelings. No. Like I need a cute teapot. So I might go look for a teapot. Get one. Because I really like this tea and I'm like
so proud of you right now.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I can now say, if someone asks, do you like hot tea? I can be like, yes. Like, as a matter of fact, I like that chai.
And you can try different flavors. I'm sure like the Tazo or if you go to Wegmans. I hate Wegmans. I know, but they have probably a lot of options of like even local or whatever options they have for chai tea.
The only reason why I saw it is because I was picking up more coffee and it was in the same section because it was like next to tea, obviously. And I was like, ooh, what's that?
So I was like, I'll admit, I have to try chai tea. But I actually like the hot bath water that Gabby despises.
So gross.
Well, let me say something. Okay. Now, you have to pick a good tea because most like even the tea bags sometimes. No.
Yes, I have, and I do not like it.
No, it's okay. Okay, it's my turn. It's my turn.
I'm trying to tell you though.
So getting good, like sometimes the type of tea bag also influences how strong the tea is. I usually add like either fresh ginger, like add your stuff, or like fresh sage leaves. Delicious. Now,
You're such a hippie.
Okay.
You're like, go out to your garden and pick some sage.
Okay, no. I go to Wegmans and I get like fresh herbs for like $1 and I add that in there because when I was having really bad asthma with my kitty, Rip, I needed some like teas and there were good ones for like respiratory health, which usually tastes really good actually. Yeah. And I would have had honey and fresh sage and it would actually be really good. And I've been like the past 3 nights, I feel like an old lady, but I make myself a super small cup of tea. And while I, read or do whatever, I'm like really enjoying.
That's what I was doing. I sat down in my chair and read. Usually I sit there and I have like a hard lemonade, and then I read, and then I come over here and watch TV and finish
that's the whole cycle.
And then I go
Steve's
to bed.
And that's the whole routine. Yeah. For me,
but
I didn't. I usually have like the munchies.
I'm hollering.
It's not good either. That's why I'm going to the gym. We're picking up good habits. Yeah. You're going to the gym.
Well, the only problem is,
I don't have dance right now.
I start
to go back into a routine.
I start in 2 weeks.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
You said yeah.
I just get not bored, but I'm just like, I can only go to the gym so much where I'm like, okay, I've been on this treadmill for 30 minutes. I'm so bored. But so that's why I'm like, let's do dance. Yay. Because it's like cardio, obviously, but you don't not notice, but it's so much more fun than just like, let me go run on the treadmill for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I'm just really getting bored of going to the gym, even though it's like downstairs for me.
Even though I think now is even a better time than the beginning of a year to kind of like get back into a routine, because like you're forced into a structure with whatever you're doing, whether it's work coming back up and new projects and stuff like that. So for me, I was like, I've spent the past month or 2 trying to get it back into the gym. So come fall, I have like a routine and I know what I like, because I don't do dance. I could never do dance.
You totally could.
And I go with a group of people and we have like a little group chat and keeping us accountable. So I've done that. I'm doing this new tea thing. We'll see how long that lasts.
I'm hollering.
But I do like kind of the routine of it. Like whenever you get your little tea kettle, it'll be like really, really nice.
I know. I need to go look at tea kettles.
I'm obsessed.
I'm just hoping it's not like a phase. And this is actually something I like. Because you know how sometimes you go through a phase where you're like, oh my God, I love this thing. And then
with orange juice ones.
Oh, dude. It hasn't happened for like a year.
It's disturbing.
But this time, it was about this time last year.
That you were really
orange juice at like 11:30 p.m.
That's so funny.
Dude, the best. That's what I'm saying. I always want something to drink at night. I don't know why that is. It's just like last year it was orange juice. Lately it's been alcohol. Any alcohol.
LOL.
Just whatever I buy that I'm like, oh, that looks good. And I try it and I have like one. I'm not drinking for like an hour.
Right.
I
Please
just
don't
have
think
one.
that we're like wasted every night.
But
and,
it's just like I want something to drink. And so the only thing with tea though, tea is like way more caffeinated than coffee. So I was worried.
It depends though on which ones you
This
you
one's
get.
really caffeinated.
Oh, okay.
And
well, but sis, you are up anyway.
that's very true. But I was like really worried. I was like, I don't really want to
Maybe have it a little bit like, well, again, you're gonna stay up anyway. But like if you have it around like 7 or 8, like earlier evening.
But I usually it's just I usually start craving it around like 9 or 10. So I'm like drinking all this caffeination.
Right.
So but
that's
last
true.
night it didn't seem to really affect me, which is good. I don't know if that's good or not. Maybe maybe it's not a good thing that it didn't affect me. My body is like so used to having caffeine shoved in it. But yeah. So I was still able to like go to bed without hearing colors. But but I was like, because you know, alcohol it brings you down.
It does, dude. It knocks me out. It doesn't bring me
like
down.
you have wine,
I'm asleep.
Yeah, so a glass of wine for me, it's like it takes me down from the day, right? But tea, I was like, oh, this is really caffeinated.
Well, so I'm saying you have to find. I'm sure there is a chai tea. There are teas that are I don't have any caffeine or have things like my mom has chamomile, which you wouldn't like.
I don't like
but
chamomile.
Meaning that I'm sure there are some chai teas that even have just de-stress.
You say sedative.
Someone
could definitely slip a sedative in there.
That
because I don't want to be up all night more than I already am.
Right.
So
we're trying to have a healthier routine, and maybe a big part of that could be some tea.
I went to. You know what time I went to bed last night? I was asleep.
If it's before me, I'll be really shocked.
I was asleep by like 1:30.
I was going to say midnight. Okay, you're saying that that's some accomplishment. I mean,
it was for me. Because usually if I like
2 or 3,
usually I'm like I go to bed.
That's pretty good though.
I get in bed at like midnight. And then I'm up for and I'm like so proud. I'm like, I'm in bed by midnight. And then like 2 hours pass somehow. And I'm like, oh. But like, because that's like watching TV or I'm reading or I'm on my phone or it's really those 3 things. Yeah. Really those distractions. You're really healthy. And I'm like, why do my eyes hurt? And I'm like, well, I've been staring at my phone for 2 hours.
That is a fact. And then I wake up and I'm like so in pain. Like you wake up sore and you didn't even work out. And I'm like, okay, that's because I didn't get enough sleep. So that's really good.
So, but I was like asleep by like 1:30.
I'm proud.
Despite
so we have the tea. You're gonna have dance. I think I have a gym routine.
Cool.
We have goals.
We're doing
what are our
good
goals?
things.
What are our goals?
I don't know.
She's written 2 articles.
I have.
One's been published. Go check it out. It's great.
Hopefully the other one's
I really want to read the other one too.
I
backstory.
Don't even remember what I wrote.
What you wrote?
I'm not even gonna open it because I know if I open it, I'm gonna want to do edits and then send it again, and I don't want to do that.
Like, what?
Yeah, I know. So I'm not gonna do that.
Don't do it to yourself.
But yeah, that's fun. I like doing things like that, I like writing. But yeah,
more articles.
Hopefully. And if not, that's cool too.
No, we should
find something else to do. but yeah, I need to get my website in order. That's what I need to do.
Actually, I had to. It was unpaid for like 3 weeks.
I'm hollering. Wait, ours or yours?
Mine. Oh. And I was like, well, I've added it to my resume. So if anyone checked within those 3 weeks, they would have been like,
doesn't exist.
This chick doesn't keep up with her own website. So now that's back up. If I lost any job opportunities because of that, great. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Probably not.
I'm hollering.
But so that's updated. Just do things that are annoying. I really just have to update.
I just
my credit card information,
updating.
and it's just such a pain. I've done. Even my mom is into this kick now too. She's like, what does she call it? The Eisenhower complex, which I learned in college in one of my, because they don't teach kids that. So my professor was like, for our senior class, let's learn some things on how to like live your life better. And it's like a complex of like urgent and important, and it's like a 2x2 square. So like if it's urgent and important, you do it now. If it's urgent but not important, I think you delegate it. If it's important and not urgent, you schedule it. And if it's not important and not urgent, you don't do it at all. I've never heard of this. Really? No. It looks like maybe I'll add a little graphic.
That's kind of cool. So wait, so it's a square, so like the top and then the sides and
correct. And you have like urgent, not urgent, important, not important.
That's kind of cool.
On like how you would, if you have like your to-do list, how do you break that up on like what you'll do today, what you'll schedule, what you won't do, what you'll delegate. And mom's like, I need some help. So she delegated a few things. And I'm like helping her do certain things and like just get into the routine of like keeping your space clean, which let me tell you something. There are just so many like laundry. I'm so sorry.
I hate laundry.
I hate laundry.
Yeah, I do too.
But I want to, for example, to help me not hate it so much because I don't have enough storage space in my closet in this new house. I had like a whole system in the old house, and now I have like 2 IKEA drawers that like just don't work for what I need. So I have to buy like some sort of system on Amazon so that I can get excited about like having my stuff organized.
You can buy one of those things that stack on top.
That's what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
So I was looking at a few because I know like, hey, come fall, I don't want to have like clothes everywhere in my room because I absolutely hate that, and I know that then I won't want to do anything if my space is messy. So I'm like, I'll do that. But it's just things that like I know if I do, then I will be more productive in my day-to-day life, because I'm still in COVID, like we still work from home a lot.
Yep.
So
which is awesome. It's like 2 parts awesome and like 10 parts like I kind of hate this, but it's okay.
If you have a space you like, great. And then what I do, like I might pick a day or 2 to go to, like now that some places are open like Starbucks, and just work there.
Yeah.
Because
I can
sometimes it's hard.
Work here for like 2 days out of the week. Like Mondays, I really don't go anywhere on Mondays.
Right.
Like
and
I literally
you can work here, no problem, and it's fine.
And it's like it's just so
it
wild to me. I'm like, so yesterday, I started work at like 10 because in the morning I don't do much until about that time.
Yeah,
and because I wake up slowly. So from 10 and then till about 5, I worked, and I was like, this is so weird.
A full day.
Yeah, but it's so wild to me that I'm like, I really sat at this desk for however many hours that is, 7 hours.
But the wild thing about that too is that you do your Monday like typical work day, and that is basically all your desk work for the week. I mean, I know you do like some stuff at night,
it doesn't
that, like,
take me as
it's not like a
long,
block
though.
of time that you're like, let me sit down and get this work done, which is the same for me. Like I have a typical office work day, but for everything else, whether it's creative or ideas or, brainstorming, you can do that in other places. And I think that's kind of important to break it up that way. Like you have an office day for people who have this schedule. I don't know. I know a lot of schools are back in person, but you might have like an online day or whatever. So making that space nice and kind of, I think creative people need variety in their environment.
Yes, I couldn't do like 3 office days in a row.
Right.
Where I sit and I just,
as much as you would like the space, I just
couldn't do it. Because it's literally like, I don't know. I just couldn't do it. Even like yesterday, I was like, if I don't finish this by 5 o'clock, I'm gonna go sit out on my deck and just for a change of scenery. I'm like, I can't keep sitting here. Right. But luckily I finished not everything, but what I wanted to finish yesterday, I did. And so I was like, okay, great. Everything else can wait till tomorrow. But yeah, there's like no way. Even like, okay, so even with like the work that we do, what is nice about it is that, like today, we're gonna go in, we're gonna sit for a few hours, but then I know eventually I have to get up to set up for rehearsal. Right. That's nice.
A break. Yeah.
Yes, that I can like get up, move around, and be doing something else besides like staring at a computer.
Yeah.
Which is what I do.
Right.
A lot. So that's nice. As much as I'm like, rehearsal, I'm like, okay, but I can go, I can set things up, I can move around.
Right.
And I'm still doing work. I'm still being productive because it's something that needs to be done. But
yeah, and it's just that variety, like scheduling out that time slot. Because like for me, even with lessons, like I do lessons on Mondays and Thursdays typically. And that helps give me variety. And then I have a block of a few hours where I do like office work and things like that, or things for the podcast. Because I would not be my best self if I was just doing the same thing every day.
I wouldn't
it wouldn't be good for other people.
It would not, no.
But no, and then the thing that I have in my routine, which is like sometimes super tiring, but it's okay. Because I find that the more I do, the more I'm like capable of doing. Like I work better when I have almost a little too much to do. It's a delicate line, because then I can quickly, like if you add one thing too much, we have a breakdown after work on a Wednesday night.
Love that.
So
I remember that Wednesday night.
So like I'm doing really, really well. It's like the maximum capacity of like things I can do, and I'm at my maximum capability to do it. And then one thing too much and like everything falls apart. So for example, I've added the gym like after work.
You should be going after. She's like, I'm on my way to the gym. I'm like, I'm on my way home to have something to drink.
And a gym, especially, maybe I'll go to a new gym. I don't know. But it's like still so busy. So it takes you like
100%.
2 hours minimum to like go to the machines you want. Or if you're like in a group and you have conversations, which is all good. And I have like my socialization, which is like a good growing for me because I typically didn't have that 2 hours of socialization.
She doesn't like talking to me anymore, so.
No, false, but it's just like an additional thing. But I think it's good for me. And I've like broken a sweat and done whatever. And actually, dude, I'd be texting Brittany. I don't know if she listens to these, but
I'm hollering. Oh, because she runs a lot, right?
Yeah, she runs a lot because she's training for either half or full marathon, some sort of marathon, and goes to the gym like twice a day. And I'm like, that's more than
wild.
me. So maybe my goal is to be somewhere like you in like 10 years or 20 years, but not there yet. But like once I go 6 out of the 7 days of the week. And that's my thing, my new thing, in addition to trying to do all these goals. Because I was thinking, I don't know why, but I thought about the conversation we had with Tim that we've discussed many times about SMART goals.
And if you guys in these SMART goals,
if you were to think back, how many of those have you done?
I don't even remember what I said.
Okay, good.
But there was just because I don't remember doesn't mean I didn't do them. Because I might look back and be like,
you had moved into your apartment, which is a goal you shared about.
That was last year, though.
You wrote the story that we shared. We both did that.
Oh yeah, I had to. You had to do we had to do that though.
Yes, but the other ones, like I know there's one I mentioned.
I don't remember what I said.
Which he's forced me to start making more videos, recording and making more videos.
Yes.
So he's done that for me. But there's one in particular about doing like releasing backing tracks.
Oh yeah,
that was a big goal for like another stream of income for me. That it's like August and I haven't even done a single one.
4 months.
And I remember right at the beginning of the year, like to release one a month.
Did you really?
Yes.
I don't remember that. That's wild.
Because I do it for work, but
you might as well. I'm like, you have so many like.
Yeah, but I have to record like the electric part, the acoustic, so I can release it fully or whatever. But that's one big goal that I'm like, that's another stream of income that I would love to have. Yeah. That I just like haven't done it all. So wow, good for me. That's one that I remember. That I'm
you've
like,
done
now,
a lot though. Just because you don't do. Here's the thing. I didn't really expect to do all the ones I said because I don't even remember what I said. But if I did look back at them, like I think it's okay. Sorry, I think it's okay to like if I had 5. I don't remember if I had 5 and I did like 3.
That's great.
Yeah, because I think that's fair. I mean, do people really expect to do all the 5?
No,
like I don't know, not really.
But as long as you keep doing that, and like now that you know you did 3, then then take the 2 you haven't done, and which one of those 2 do you really want to do?
Or
and
put those at the top of the list for the next year. Like, okay, well you didn't do those this year, so maybe that's priority, and then add 3 more or whatever.
Right, and just keeping track of that because we both wait like that. Tim is
I'm
way
so
better
bad
at things like that.
I'm not like. I don't know if it has to do with planning. I'm not a huge planner. So.
And then you just end up living life like passively. Like there's things you would and want to do.
Well, here's the thing. I do what I want to do. That sounded really okay. I do the things and people say this online all the time because whatever, but like people always say like, you're going to make time for the things that you want to do. And I feel like that's really my personal, like if I don't want to do something, I will come up with literally every excuse under the sun. But if I want to do something, I'll just do it. It just happens. So I do have to push myself to do things I don't want to do. But the stuff I do want to do, it's like it might not come easily, but I will do it. It happens.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's like things like I do want to do X, but I have to do A, B, C, D before then, and I don't want to do any of those things.
Yeah, you just want to get to the
thing that I really want. But
yeah, I guess I'm like that too. Yeah.
Like, you know, it's something you want, but it's like just so many like little tasks that
I feel like doing all the like
pain.
Little stuff that to get to the thing that you actually want to do. Yeah, that's annoying. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I should be better at this by now. I'm just like not, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm like a full adult, same. But I think it's just my personality. But
like we have all the time in the world, but at the same time, I don't want to be caught up in like being passive and like doing well what I do.
Yeah.
But like not accomplishing things that I want to.
Well, yeah, because then you look back on the year and you're like, what did we do this year? Like nothing. We didn't do anything. Like you did, but nothing that you like really wanted to do.
Right.
But I don't know. I think this year, okay, so far, how do you feel about the past 8 months? Because it's almost September when we're recording this. So 8 months have gone by since 2021 started. How do you feel about this year so far? About like what you've accomplished, what you haven't done, what you're going to do, all that stuff.
I feel like it's been longer than a year, lol. But like it's been a lot. I get easily frustrated at everything I don't do, but I'm glad, like, for example, the song, that was like the most painful thing I've ever had to do in my whole life.
But it literally took like 4 months out of what we're talking about.
I know. It was absolutely terrible.
Okay.
But I'm glad that I released it. Like, that's probably one of like my proudest things ever.
Well, good.
It can be like a crappy or whatever, but like at least I did that, which I never would have thought I would have ever actually done.
And now I have a song I can listen to.
LOL.
And I do listen to it. quite frequently.
LOL. But I don't know. I hope that in the next, how many months are left to the end of this year?
September, October, November, December, 4.
Yeah, so 4 that I can at least, I'm helping some other people write music.
Cool.
And I really want to make that happen well and do it well and not let me get in the way of that. And doing at least one song that I can release like the backing tracks for. So I feel like I've grown a lot has happened. And like so much has changed, like your perspective and what you think about certain things. You're like, no, this is what I want. It's like, I feel like I've reevaluated in this year so much more what I want than I ever have before. Like it's constant of like, what am I actually doing? Where do I want to be?
What am I actually doing though?
It's happened so much more. And I think that's what happens like a year after you graduate college. I don't know what that flow has been for you, but like, what do I want? Where should I be? Am I learning what I need to learn? Like,
well, yeah, and it's also one of those things where it's like you understand. Well, I understand priorities better, as well as being like, well, what do I want? I don't think that's a bad thing. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like people in their 20s sometimes are like, well, I just need to like put my head down and work, and then maybe in my 30s and 40s, I can then be like, okay, now what do I want to do? It's like, well, why can't I be 25 and be like, well, what do I want to do?
Right.
That job, I don't want to do that job. I'm not going to do that job because I don't want to. Like that seems really pretentious, but in my mind, I'm like, okay, why not?
Start
like
going for what you want right now. You can.
Like if I get a job off, not that it happened, but if I get a job offer from a job that I really don't want to do, I think it's okay to say no. I'm not going to say yes just because I'm in my 20s and I need money. Like I'm going to say no because I don't want to do that. Like I don't think that's a bad thing.
Right. While still being like responsible.
Well, yeah. I'm not going to. Yeah, if that's the only job I have, I'm not going to say no to it just because I don't want to do it. Like I have things to pay
like,
for.
Hey, I'm not going to accept every creative job that comes out at me. Like I want to do things that will grow me.
And that like not mean something, but are actually going to like assist me with what I want to do in the future and blah, blah. Like, I don't think it's bad to be picky if you can afford to be picky. And so, but I think a lot of people in their 20s or coming out of college, they'll take anything, any job, do whatever so they can get ahead. That's what you're told. And then it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, well, you know, but when I'm in my 30s and 40s, then I'll be able to actually do what I want to do and have maybe a say in what I want to do with my life. And I'm like, oh, I think that's really stupid. Like I should be able to do that as a 25-year-old.
And I think that's actually a really good point. Like I think for people in college, young adults, people in your 20s, it really applies. Like take time to be with yourself. You're very busy. We all are very busy, but take time to be with yourself and think about what you want to do. Like you have time. I feel like we're so rushed, and this is so different than what I said like in our first season where I was sharing like I'm so rushed. I want to accomplish a thing. I want to graduate. I want to get a job. I want to do this. I feel like I'm in a race with myself. And I think more recently I realized like, no, you have time. Like take an hour, be with yourself, be silent, journal, whatever, you know, however that looks for you. But that's so important because right now everybody's telling you, your professors, your advisors, hopefully you have some good people who are telling you like, do what you want. Hopefully. But you need to keep yourself accountable. Because I really do not want to end up even 5 years later thinking, man, I really wasted that time. Like you have time, but don't waste it.
Yeah. Like looking back and being like, man, I really wish I didn't.
Take the time to grow, to go out with your friends, to write that book, do that song.
That's why sometimes it's like,
whatever it is.
Like I get frustrated with myself because I'm like, what, like, I mean, you have weeks where you're like extremely busy and you just have to get things done and blah, blah, blah. But then like you look back on like the past month and you're like, well, I said I was going to do X and it's August and I haven't even done that. Yeah. Because I was working. And it's like, sometimes you have to just be like, okay, well, screw that. I'm just going to go do the thing I said I was going to do. And if that deadline, if I'm rushed to do that thing, then I'm rushed to do it because so sometimes I'm like, always get like your stuff in on time and whatever. But like, at the same time, it's like, well, you know what? I'm going to be up till 3 a.m. working on this article or working on this whatever because I decided to go out with my friends. And it's like, I think that's okay. Like, yeah, you might regret it because you're up till 3 a.m. working on something that's due at 8 a.m. But you know what? You went out with your friends and you had a really, really great night. So that's fun. Like, I don't know. I just think a lot of times people our age are just so like work focused, especially in the area that we live in.
Oh, yeah.
But that it's just so like 10 years go by and you're like, you're 30 years old and you're like, man, like what the heck did I do for the past 10 years? I don't know. So I think it's okay to screw work sometimes and just like do the stuff you want to do.
What happens is that like you end up overwhelmed, overexhausted, and then you have like, let's say you have a break for a day or two and you end up doing nothing because like work has taken that much out of you. So leaving energy and space for, if it is spending time with your family, that if it is watching TV, okay, be brain dead.
I was gonna say even that, like,
4
dude,
hours,
if
like,
you've been worked for a month straight and you want to take one day to binge watch and you want to watch 9 hours of TV, go off,
ahead.
sis.
Go ahead.
Because you know what? Sometimes that's you need to like literally mindlessly stare at the TV for a day and not think about anything. And I've had to do that. I haven't done that in a while, but I would love to do that. I would love to do that.
Like, you know what you need.
Yeah. So, and just like lay on the couch and watch TV for like 8 straight hours. Like that to me right now, just that idea sounds very attractive. I would love to do that. But yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing. People are always like, oh, well, you have to be not like always in constant motion doing something. And if you're doing something, it needs to be productive for a hobby or a job or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but also if I just want to like sit here and be on my phone because I haven't been able to just like chill out for 3 days straight, I don't think that's a bad thing. People
that's
always
the lie. People are like, you can work your 18-hour days now when you're 20, and I'm like, yeah, and then you're gonna be like an effed up 40-year-old.
Also, I'm like,
doesn't
so
know
you're
how
telling
to take time
me
off and like have any work-life balance.
that's what I'm like. So you're telling
It's
me
not
that
worth
like
it.
working like over 40 hours a week is healthier than me sitting and binge watching TV? Like, I don't understand the argument.
Right,
people,
right.
I'm like, you act like
very
that's
American.
healthier than like me sitting mindlessly watching TV. Both probably aren't the best for me, but one's not worse than the other.
That's your
Like,
highest goal. Again, if your highest goal is to make a career and make the money, and that's what will really satisfy you in life, then go off. But
Yeah.
I think it's okay to say like, hey, that's not my highest goal. I
Yeah.
have other things to achieve.
that's like, I always,
beyond that.
there's this like video, and I don't know if you've seen it, but it's really, really funny. And I always like quote it now whenever we're talking about like work or careers or whatever. But where this one person's like, so what's your dream job? And the person's like, I do not have a dream job. I do not dream of labor. And I was like, actually say it. 'Cause,
LOL.
like, it's just one of those things. It's like, yeah, dude, we're here. We have to work. That doesn't mean that's my like end all be all. I can enjoy my job. I can like my job. I can be like all about it.
But that's one of the many things.
But yeah, like I'm
Just
not
like a
pressed
small
about
piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, it's like people,
Which
once
can
again,
sound very like 20-year-old of us, but
whatever.
right now, currently,
Yeah.
in this generation,
people are always like, oh, well, like y'all just don't want to work. It's like, no, I would like to have a life. Like I would like to have a life outside.
like
of,
I enjoy work. I want to work.
Yeah, I like
but
working.
Everything in its like there's a balance.
like I do enjoy work. We just talked before we even hit record. We were talking about that. I was like, I don't remember how we got it, but I said I enjoy work. I just like don't want to do it sometimes. And Millie was like, so you don't enjoy work? I was like, no, I enjoy work. I just don't. Sometimes I just don't want to. Like with anything else you do. Some hobbies, like I enjoy writing. Do I want to do it all the time? No.
Do I enjoy friends? Yeah. Do I want to be with Gabby all the time?
No. So like, I mean, and I get that because we're both introverts, but like, so it's just one of those things. I'm like, do I enjoy reading? Yeah, but do I want to do it for 8 hours every day? No, I don't want to do that. So why would people expect me to be able to and enjoy and be putting my best foot forward for work for 40 hours a week? We're getting on a different topic right now, but I'm just saying that for me doesn't make any sense. And I think a lot of 20-year-olds are like, can't pull the wool over my eyes. Older generations, just because you did it doesn't mean I have to.
And feeling judged for that. Like I feel a lot more confident being able to say that now. And that's what the difference even a year makes. Because like I said, I had a lot of different goals and perspectives. But that's what I say, that I think this year the one thing I've gotten a lot out of is just reevaluating what we're talking about right now. Because it's been rough.
Also after COVID, I'm
that's
like,
what I'm saying. Over COVID, a lot of people have realized that too. So
yeah, I think after COVID, a lot of people have been like, wait a second.
We don't need to go to the office from
you don't have
9 to 5 and spend 2 hours commuting to make that office time work.
Yeah.
And I think employers are realizing that. I saw actually a company that's led by women who were like, we have, what did she say, like 30-hour work weeks? And she's like, you can take a break whenever you want. I only work 4 days out of the week.
Yep.
And sometimes I take afternoons off, and we are like our most productive.
Yeah,
That's what
of
happens
course.
when you have balance.
When you have balance, you're going to be way more productive.
Maybe we're just dumb.
Well, I was going to say, like, probably if there's anyone from Europe listening to this right now, they're probably like, wow, Americans are really stupid.
Yep.
But that's just how that's how we do
That's what
work.
I'm saying. It's just the culturally.
And we have 2 weeks vacation a year, if that, because if you're in a new job, a lot of times you don't get that. But like, which I'm sure for Europeans are like, what the heck? 2 weeks, that's it? Because they take like a long holiday or whatever. But like, it's wild. Like 40 hours or more. And you get a vacation maybe, and
Yeah,
you do
because
this till you
family
retire.
And friends are important, and I think we're blessed. And sometimes it's easy if you have friends at your job that those can get mixed. But like time outside of like what
that's what I'm saying. I'm
feeds
like,
you.
but us going to
'Cause
work
you
together
might-
isn't hanging out,
Correct.
right?
So,
Like, which is it is hard to separate that out.
Right,
Like
I
I
think
see
that
you
can
almost
be
every day,
Right.
but I see you every day because we work together.
yeah, and that can blend, and I think that can be hard. And sometimes it can be easier if you go to a workplace that you hate. I'm so sorry.
I'm
it makes it easier,
hollering.
but like also then you for sure have that delineation of
Yeah.
like, you know, I need to spend time with myself, with my family. It's healthy because we haven't really talked about mental health in this mental health episode.
I love
but
how this
is-
conversation has gone so many different directions.
but-
It's fine.
That's the point though. I think our focus this year has been evaluating where that is for us and just having a healthy, as a Christian, as a woman, as a human being, you're meant to do more than work. You can love your job. I love working. I want to do big things with my life. I want to release another random Spotify song
Do
that no one
it.
listens to. That's a big goal for me, okay? But that in the midst of everything else that makes up your life and deciding what that is. Some people need to block off every hour of their time into the little things, and that's great and that works for you. I just want to go with the flow and be more in tune of like, hey, I can cancel my lessons because my cat died and that kind of wrecked me somehow and I wasn't ready, but now I'm like doing better.
But you had that
and
day.
we're
But you handled that day like the way not you're supposed to. But that was best for you,
right.
And
And I still did a few things so that also helps me. But just being in tune with yourself. It's not that I do sound more and more like a hippie the further this
a little
episode
bit,
goes.
but like
me,
but it's also valuing like, once again, there's another concept that sounds like super like self-centered, but like valuing your own like mental health and your own like what you're on about over work. Like we value.
only you
That's
can
what's
do that.
dude. That's
Only
what's
you can
wild.
do that though. That's no
That's
one else
what's
can
wild.
do that for you.
You know what's wild? You know what's so backwards is that we be valuing work over like us spending time with like family and friends. That's so wild. That like our work, I don't know what y'all do out there, but like I'm guaranteed the company you work for, the place you work for does not care about you. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Like, unless you're working for, when it comes down to it, they want you or a body in your spot to come do your job. They don't care who you are or how you do it. And they might say like, oh yeah, we're all friends here. We're like a work family. We're coworkers and blah, blah. We take care of each other. No, you don't. Okay, unless you have like,
a very special company.
yeah.
Okay,
Or like
good,
you have
good.
coworkers at
Yeah.
work that you're actually friends with or whatever.
Yeah.
But like as a whole, your company, the overarching company does not care about you. And you're killing yourself for a job that doesn't really care about you. And I'm just like, that's so wild. So like, yeah, I'm going to do my job. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do it well. But I'm going to create the strongest barrier between me and the company I work for. Like that's what's wild. Because at the end of the day, if my cat dies, are you going to care? No. So like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, what then why am I killing myself over so you can make more money or so you can do whatever? Like, that's so stupid.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
And like all Gabby's saying, I'm gonna put a little bow on it.
Do it.
Is to value yourself, which means valuing the people in your life.
I mean, here's
valuing your
the
time.
T, right? Because that's yes.
Because no one else. Well, that sounds so like
It does sound. I know where you're
bad.
going, but like,
no, people will value you, but you need to value yourself before anyone else can.
Yeah.
And if you expect your job to do that, that's false, and that's okay because as they should, you know, especially here. If you work for a company, that's what it is.
well, because it's not your it's not your job's
Just value yourself.
It's not your job's job to care about you, right? That's not why we get jobs. If that's why we got jobs, then
It would be
that
a
would
very
have
different
been,
world, and we don't
different.
live in this world,
right?
That's not,
But like
not this world. Let's be
you
honest.
can't put those expectations on your job or your boss to be like, hey, I really care about you. That's not the nature.
That's like
of
an ideal,
working.
but no, it's not the nature of working.
But I'm gonna just tie it with a little bow on top of your
it.
bow, and that's my last thought.
Okay.
If Simone Biles can drop out of the
that's
Olympics,
good.
out of the freaking Olympics for like days straight and not go back in until like the following week or whatever, then I think you can take vacation from your little part-time job for your mental health or for whatever reason, or because you want to.
And you know what's wild is how it's the most contested, such a big thing.
Yeah. And I'm like, good for Simone Biles.
And what's wild is that even in the year of our Lord 2021, where we have discussed how mental Mental health is important just as much as physical health. People still have such a lack of understanding. Because like if she broke her leg,
of course you're gonna take time
and
off.
You would think that, again, it's 2021. We've talked about this. We see you I assure you interact with people who are depressed, have anxiety, have so many mental health problems that are real, that you see them get affected by it, and we still don't have that like grace and compassion and understanding that that's a real thing.
Yeah, people be like,
still,
I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, I mean, how are you gonna argue with someone being like, I'm really, here's the other thing, everybody who's criticizing Simone Biles, I'm like, y'all can't even do a cartwheel, so I don't know what you're talking about. So just leave it alone. You don't have to have an opinion about everything. Like,
thank God you have someone who's strong enough to be like, I'm not gonna risk me like breaking my neck over this.
Yeah. And it's wild because people saw when she the first, I don't know, because I don't know gymnastics, but the first thing she did, and people were like, man, that was really bad. And like she got lost in one of the flips she was doing. And I'm like, that's really dangerous. Like if your head's not in it,
and
then
Lauren
like
Hernandez was explaining that this happens to people, and it can happen it doesn't have to be gymnastics. It can be any sport. It can be anything you do where like what's going on in here affects what you're doing, and you can threaten your own life. Yeah. And to value that over your company, others, whatever, a medal, a job, a project, and being like, no, right now, I need to say no.
Yep. I think that's, I don't think anything's wrong with that. And like I said, if Simone Biles can do it in the Olympics, then I think you can do it at your job that pays you $7.25 and no benefits, dude. Give me a break. You're better than that. That's all I have to say.
Wow, we're really trifling, huh?
That episode went so many different directions.
And we didn't even mention, basically, hopefully
we were supposed to talk about
but wait, it's okay. We've bothered people enough. But
that's true.
In a few episodes' time, I'm not sure. We're not that organized.
No.
We will be talking about creative projects that we're in the process of working on, which hopefully soon we will be doing that. Unlike last season where you saw the final
product or whatever.
Product execution, this will be in the middle of it. Yeah. And our thoughts and
in
feelings
medias res. I'm in the middle of something, but I ain't gonna talk about it. Yeah. I've been in the middle of something, but I ain't gonna talk about it right now.
Do I know?
No.
Oh, wow. Sneak. I'm not. So I need to get in the middle of something real fast so that we can talk about it in a few weeks' time. Do your little thing. So we're right now.
Okay, so part one. So usually,
the camera's off. So imagine.
Dang it. Okay, so imagine
hands together.
Yep. So like, okay, so you make two little circles, right? So because usually we do like with the art heist thing, we did part one
and the week after
one circle, and then the week after we did part two
together.
But now with this, we just kind of talked about part one right now, barely, but we mentioned it. And then you take the other circle and you drag your hand, so it's like part two's down the road,
right? A few episodes time.
It's down. So.
I like
picture that. Yep. Just draw a line.
We'll start that episode showing you in real life the whole thing because the camera's off. But and we talked. I don't know where this came from, but maybe we needed this. I feel good.
I asked you before we started recording, what are we doing? And you were like, we're gonna do this, this, and this. And I was like, okay. And then we started recording, and we didn't do that. So
we didn't. Okay, we didn't. That's okay. So we're doing well. Maybe we have the French toast, and we should have a tea time. With your chai tea latte.
Oh my God.
We'll try.
We can when we discuss the book, we can drink tea.
Kill me.
Because we'll probably record that in the fall and it'll be like...
Oh, that would be cozy.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
That's going to be great.
What a season.
Yeah.
We're a month in, technically. We will be a month into this
because this is
season.
episode 4, right?
We have a sponsor. We have to do an interview.
Yeah, we gotta do all that.
Email some people.
I do email people, and then they don't email me back, or they say no.
It's okay.
People don't like me.
But thank you for tuning in. Yeah. We hope this was, if not helpful, at least entertaining.
Yeah, and
if not entertaining, well, here you are. So you know what?
You got this far, so you must have gotten something out of it. You listened for an hour.
But as always, we do thank you for joining us on this journey. You can follow us on Instagram. That is dead.
It's not dead.
It's not dead.
We posted something like 2 weeks ago.
We did. Yeah, we did. A little funny thing.
It was all right.
You've cracked me up because then I listen back to us.
It made you laugh, so.
Because we listen back to ourselves and I'm like, we're so dumb.
Yeah, that's true.
And the fact that there's like 70 episodes of our dumbness out there that are like an hour long each.
I think it's all really good, but
that's okay. So the handle for Instagram is _change by degrees.
You're closing. Usually I close.
Oh, okay.
No, it's
good.
No, you got it.
It's a website.
Yeah, we got to update
that we pay
too.
for. So please
visit
Please.
it. And you can sign up for emails there, which I will be sending out this season.
does do that.
This season, you guys, you should have gotten 3 emails so far. 4 maybe.
Just like she sent out, going to send out emails, I will be posting the YouTube videos. So if you want to see how ugly,
but you
don't.
Okay. No.
You know how I supported you with your emails.
Yeah. Okay. But we're gonna do with things.
So
we said.
I'm gonna post the YouTube videos.
Okay, good.
Even if they cut off halfway through, I don't know how to
just
fix
put
that.
our picture for the rest.
That's what I usually do. Actually, a little logo. So we'll do that, and I will try to remember. Leave us a review on.
Oh yes, give us
iTunes.
5 stars.
Give us 5 stars. Give us whatever stars.
Apple
Podcasts.
Yes.
Their app is trash, but any platform. I use Listen. You use Overcast. Whatever.
That's not weird.
But whatever app you use, you can leave us a little review, and that'll be real nice.
Yeah, give us 5 stars. If you don't give us 5 stars, don't give us anything. Walk away.
It's so funny. I'm gonna say that at the end of every episode. Okay. If you give us 5 stars, or give us nothing.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week for I don't know what, but
I don't remember what's coming up next, but we'll see ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.